Nan, welcome back. Great to have you here. How have you been?
Excellent. Thank you for having me here.
Always welcome. Always welcome. So let's kick off. I mean, for those who might be tuning in, why don't you give us literally, I would say, like a 30-second speech in terms of what Biokript is. Guys, make sure you check out the AMA before. We had a great AMA earlier this week. Everything you want to know in detail, we went through. But Adnan, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Biokript is the world's first hybrid Shariah-compliant cryptocurrency exchange where we take the best features of centralization and decentralization and combine them into one platform.
That's it. There you have it. And you know, one thing I will say actually to the viewers and guys, please smash up the likes. If you're not smashing up the likes, you're doing something wrong. So smash up the likes. But before we say that, one thing I will say, and again, a lot of what I'm seeing now today in crypto is there is a big focus. There is a big focus on bringing out platforms that have the ease of centralization, but on a decentralized level. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Many platforms actually, and Adnan mentioned the other day, there is no KYC needed on Biokript. And that's important because if you have a look on the landscape today, major exchanges, they're already announcing that we're going through KYC. In fact, one of the other popular exchanges, KuCoin, yesterday announced that you need to have KYC. That was one of the major centralized platforms where you could actually trade without KYC. So for those of you who certainly, put a importance on privacy, then certainly Biokript is somewhere where you want to have a look at it, get your hands on it, and really try it out. Because, like Adnan said before, they're bringing the best of centralization, decentralization. They're actually looking at things like UX, UI, which I think is super important. We don't have enough of that in this space today, certainly in the decentralized space. But Adnan, you mentioned something earlier on this week, and you said we have a partnership with Microsoft. And, these names, you can't throw them around lightly. So clearly this means something. What does that mean? What does your partnership actually mean? Tell me a bit more in detail.
Yes. And when you say that we can't be throwing those names lightly around there, our Telegram is filled with people just asking those kinds of questions. Yeah. Is this some kind of scam? What is going on? Because everybody knows about Microsoft, but nobody knows about Biokript.
Exactly.
So the first thing that comes to people's mind is, this has to be some kind of scam. That's the first thing. And then we have to, reassure them, go check it out, go check out the press releases, go check out the publications of credible news media. And then people are reassured. But what we are, and I could tell you this, I am very proud to announce that Biokript is being recognized by one of the largest corporations in the world as a startup with a great potential to revolutionize today's cryptocurrency trading industry. And with this partnership, basically, we are having this opportunity to be the true and innovative leaders in today's crypto space. And our innovative trading platform is going to solve most of the problems affecting today's cryptocurrency space, such as wash trading, or as we've seen with FTX's case, misappropriation of users' funds. Now with this Microsoft partnership, what we are getting is basically we have full Microsoft support, and we have the privileges to use the full services of the infrastructure, ecosystem, and the business connection. So now with this support, we don't have to worry about our overhead cost. We don't have to be worrying about our infrastructure cost or server cost, which is one of the main failing contributors of any tech startup.
Yeah.
So basically for the next 3 years, our server costs are paid, our infrastructure is paid. So Biokript can only focus right now on expanding a project, growing on project, and innovating in the space.
Which I thought, and it's an important thing. It's an important thing that you mentioned because for those who don't know, I'm a product manager in my 9-to-5 life, and a lot of the solutions that I develop and that I work on, we use AWS. Okay, and similarly to that perspective, when we start looking at the running cost just beyond. Not just the cost of what we pay for our development or our staff, all of this, but actually the hardware, the tin that we have to rent and use, the prices can be astronomical. which actually then does have an impact in terms of your daily burn rate, right? So therefore, you're reducing that to almost zero for the next 3 years. So there's nothing to worry about when it comes to infrastructure costs. But you're then able to appropriate the funds instead to pure development and growth, which for me is always great to see, because then you're focusing on building. You're not worrying too much about what am I renting, how much is it going to cost me, all of these things, and they will come over time. So I think that's a great partnership to have. I think, you know, certainly when we look at growing, the less you can worry about infrastructure costs and the more that you can focus on building, you know, can only bring your project forward. So talking about moving forward, and what does moving forward look like? You know, it's all great. We've got the partnership. It's great that we're going to be bringing out Shariah-compliant DEX, which, you know, utilizes the best of centralization and decentralization, but on a decentralized level. What's next for us, Adnan? What happens next?
So basically, right after the pre-sale, within the next 5 weeks, we are going to get listed on level 2 centralized cryptocurrency exchange. Mm-hmm. So that's our plan in those terms. In about next 2 or 3 months after that, we are going to secure a crypto license and set up all our banking infrastructure and make sure that we have the fiat integration set up on our site. So as of right now, we are not obligated to have any licenses as of right now, because we are strictly decentralized exchange, dealing with crypto to crypto. Okay. Now, once we start integrating fiat onto our platform, we are obligated by governments all over the world to collect identifying information of all those people who are going to be depositing cash onto our platform. So, and that's only going to be applicable to those people who interact with cash.
Yep.
Okay. Still the same policies are going to be applicable to those people who are strictly crypto to crypto. We are not obligated to collect anything from them. Okay.
And so, you know, one thing, Adnan, I'm gonna say here actually beforehand is, guys, smash up the likes. Why are we not smashing up the likes? Smash up the likes on this stream. But more importantly, and I see a lot of this being thrown around, right? Oh, I'm not going to use this exchange because they're asking for KYC. I'm not going to use that exchange because they're asking for KYC. Let me tell the viewers something, right? I think that mentality is the wrong mentality to have, and I'll tell you why. I'm an ex JP Morgan person as well, and I used to work heavily within AML, KYC, all of these things. And crypto to crypto, it's fine. There's no need for KYC, of course, completely fine. But when you start ramping on fiat currencies, it doesn't matter where you go in the world. There is always going to be an obligation, a fiduciary obligation as well, to make sure that you know who you're onboarding. So from that perspective, you know, KYC, you're never going to escape. Your favorite decentralized exchanges, the moment they produce fiat ramps, you have to have this. So I'm just saying this because a lot of people sometimes see it as a negative that so-and-so is asking for KYC. But where you're taking money from the real world, i.e., you know, from a bank and transferring it onto another custody who's going to take that, you have to have this. So you're never going to escape this. And again, I just want to say that it's not really a negative at all. I think it is regulation that is much well needed. It's compliance that we adhere to. And I think that also gives validity to whoever is looking to bring on ramping facilities as well.
Yes, 100% right. And as I said, you know, we don't have any control over it, and we do have to follow the law. We have to follow those regulatory, you know, obligations.
Fantastic. So let's talk a little bit more. So we've clearly got a runway of work that we want to go into. People are going to be interested. How do we get involved? How do we get a piece of that Biokript pie, as we call it? So let's talk a bit more about the pink sale. When's the sale, Adnan? When is it ending? When's it coming along? What are the steps here?
Yes, basically, we are having our pre-sale on Pink Sale Launchpad, and it's ending tomorrow. Tomorrow is basically the last day people could get this unbelievable chance to be the first buyers of our project. And it's ending actually at 6 p.m. UTC time. So basically in about 24 hours.
24 hours. 24 hours
Yes.
from now. So there you
And
go, guys.
right after that, we are going to be automatically listing your PancakeSwap, and token will be tradable right away.
There you go, guys. So check out the links below. All the details are below in terms of how you can participate or even watch from the sidelines. It's up to you, either or. But definitely worth checking out. And again, Adnan will be a regular on the show, just to say that to everybody. We will be staying in touch. We'll be providing updates as and when we have some relevant stuff to share. And Adnan, any last words? Any last words before we wrap up the show?
Yes, of course. Biokript, unlike other projects in the crypto space, and there are many other ones out there, over 25,000 different projects out there, is one-of-a-kind project where we are truly changing the industry the way it is right now. As I said, there are centralized cryptocurrency platforms and there are fully decentralized cryptocurrency platforms. And both of those models are ineffective. People are losing money with centralized cryptocurrency platforms, such as the case with FTX.
Yeah.
And people are losing money on decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges because there are no regulations out there, no central authority to vet all those scam projects. And as an example, 2022, people had lost over $2 billion to fully decentralized platforms.
Yep.
So obviously, people are losing money on the left, people are losing money on the right, and nobody is providing a solution. And Biokript will be that solution.
You heard it straight here from Adnan, CEO and founder of Biokript. Adnan, thank you for coming on the show. Super appreciate having you on here. Hopefully this will be one of many more to come. All the best with the sale. And guys, stay tuned. Follow the links below. Don't forget to smash up the like button, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks all.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.